In a world that pushes for conformity, in a society that seems to have expectations for how one should act and dress and behave, in small groups and families in which each member becomes aware with time of the other member's wants, needs, and intentions, we can see all around us men with no backbone, men that have given up on having opinions of their own, that have lost touch with their inner compass. What about you, friend? Have you lost your capacity to disregard opinions, to the pressure to conform? Do you find yourself envious of the men who have preserved it? The men who walk absolutely comfortable in their own skin, confident and detached from the criticism of others? Were you ever curious to know how you can navigate the world and engage fully in society, while also holding true to who you are? If any of these questions captured your attention for a brief moment, you might want to stick around and hear what I am about to say. To become a man that can hold his ground, you must have the ability to not conform fully to ideas, principles, or people's requests, but instead to explore them constantly, to put them to the test to see if they stand true, to question everything because nothing is sacred and unquestionable, but the integrity of your mind. At the same time, you must also develop the strength to stand up for yourself and for what you represent when pressured to change, because not every situation will require you to adjust your ways and revise your actions. Of course, if you are currently a rebellious moron, just like every one of us was at some point, you shouldn't justify your ways under the cover of being your own man and standing your ground. When it comes to making changes or not, keep this in mind. You will arrive many times in your life at certain crossroads on your personal development journey, points in time when you need to ask yourself some questions in order to find out if you should preserve your identity as a man, to continue what you are doing even against the assault and critiques of others, or if you should embrace change. In these moments of doubt and uncertainty, ask yourself, friend, are you having success? Be honest with your answer, and if you are moving up in the world, if you are doing well for yourself, and if you are aligned with your vision and purpose, disregard the ones that throw critiques at you, the jealous haters trying to hold you down just to feel better about themselves, and continue on your path. Never forget that no one will be universally popular, and if you are doing something right, you will attract a fair share of negativity, but also keep in mind that if your actions are completely isolating you, you might be doing something wrong. Even if your path might push you into solitude at times, if who you are and what you do is good, useful and appealing, at least some people will support you. Do not become blinded by rigid ideas and embrace change when needed. Otherwise, dare to be comfortable with your individuality and stand your ground. You see, friend, when you will find yourself the target of criticism, you inevitably develop self-doubt and become insecure about the path you have chosen, and the more unique your path is, the harder you will be hit by hesitation and anxiety. To be able to battle these doubts before you become fully paralyzed by them, or before you will be tempted to fully change your ways just to please others so that the critiques stop, here is something that you can do. If you do not know who you are and what you stand for, you will find yourself crushed by any wind of change that comes your way, and you will be just a pretender of a man who is trying on new identities as he moves amongst different groups of people. Realize, friend, that it is crucial for you to come to a keen understanding of what defines you at your core. You must build a firm and strong foundation so that when criticism comes, when life throws its worst at you, you will not be tempted to doubt yourself. Take some time alone, remove yourself from distractions and review your life by thinking about your happiest as well as your most miserable moments. Make a list of your goals and dreams, put down on a piece of paper your values, ethics and morals, and define the elements that are most important to you, as well as the things that you never want to become and aren't willing to compromise, so that when you are tempted to conform to the ideas of others, you can remind yourself about who you are as a man and what you value. If the thing you are pressured and tempted to change is not in line with your values and goals, stop worrying about changing it and be certain in your choice. Otherwise, embrace the uncomfortable feedback and don't be afraid to change. If you feel alone on your path even when you are aligned with your values and purpose, Never despair and look up to other honorable men of success, of the present day or of the past, and realize that all great stories are filled with challenges and ideas that were dismissed by many, only to be embraced and applauded years later. Remember, friend, if no one is criticizing you, if nobody is pressuring you to conform and accept the status quo, it is because you are not doing anything important. If you find yourself under constant scrutiny, that is because you are on the radar, and the bigger you get, the bigger target you become and the more bullets will come your way. In such a scenario, when you are fully aligned with your values and principles, instead of seeing criticism as a reason to change, dare to celebrate it as a marker of your own success. Everything that should concern you should be what you must do, not what people think. It is easy to change your ways based on what people say, because you will always find those who think they know what is best for you, better than you know it. It is easy to live in the world after the world's opinion, but if you wish to be a great man, you must be ready to keep with perfect grace and unselfishness your independence and individuality. I dare you, friend, to have the courage to change when change is necessary, but when it comes to principles and values, learn to stand like a rock. Giving up is never the answer, neither is giving in to the opinions of others. Become the man that stands his ground. Become the man that hangs on to his true self, demonstrating it through the actions that he takes and the values that he stands by. Stand your ground and be your own man, knowing that no matter what happens, you will always live aligned with your core principles. When the pressure of criticism will put a strain on you, will you be the man who is able to stand tall, solid like a rock, behind the principles and values that represent you, or will you give in to the pressure of the world? The choice is yours to make.